Gardening, June 14th, 2026. It is spring, so it is time to do the gardening. We do not have a large garden. There are only two areas. One is on the southern side of our house. It has 5 tall trees. They block the view into our living room from outside. Those trees are planted into the ground. I trimmed those trees 2 weeks ago. The other garden is in the front of the house. It has a base that is 75 centimeters high and filled with soil. There are 3 trees in it. I trimmed that garden 6 weeks ago. Since then, the leaves have grown. I had to trim 2 of them again. Why only 2? Well, the purple maple momiji, which is in the center of the trio of trees, did not need any trimming. So I got the tools I needed and my ladder from our attic. In Japanese, we say grunie. I put on my gardening uniform and I started around 7:30 a.m. As I said, there are 2 Japanese momiji trees in the garden. One is green and one is purple. Those 2 trees are easy to trim. I can stand on the road outside the base and easily do the work. However, the tree on the very end is a challenge. It is about, I would say, over 2 meters high and in the corner of the garden base. It has 3 clumps of leaves. They are not connected. They are all separate. There is one near the bottom, one in the middle, and one at the very top. The bottom 2 are easy to trim. However, the one at the very top is a challenge. I have to put my step ladder in the garden itself, where the ground is soft. Then I climb it, but not too high. I have to reach very high to trim the top. So I have to be very careful to keep my balance while trimming. That tree alone takes about 20 to 30 minutes, as I am always moving the ladder to find the perfect and safest position to do the trimming. I also put the ladder outside the base to trim. I put the ladder on the driveway, which has a small incline, so I must take extra care to balance here. Trimming this tree is always the most challenging and scariest part. I am used to it, so as usual, and fortunately, there were no incidents this time. Of course, after trimming all the trees, I must do the cleanup. That takes longer than the trimming. There are lots of leaves, so I must sweep and then sweep again. Inside the base, I have to rake them all up. Outside the base, they are everywhere. With that, as I only do this trimming in the spring, I can clean everything else from head to toe, or you can say from top to bottom. For example, those places along the edges of the driveway are filled with moss. I hose them clean. I also move our large plastic storage bin, cleaning it outside, as well as cleaning the space behind it. Next, if necessary, and it always is, I then do some trimming in the back garden. I also cut those kumazasas, which rear their ugly heads from the ground. The entire process takes close to 3 hours, and that includes sweeping up all those cuttings and putting all those tools back in their proper places. When all is said and done, I can take a shower. I then go out to look at the garden once more and admire my work. On a final note, this time, while I was working, Miwako left by car to attend her piano recital this day. With the car gone, cleanup was easier. Usually, I move the car to a neutral corner during this task. Also, I would be home alone, so I made sure I had my house keys before Miwako left. The weather was perfect for this task. It was not hot. It was cloudy. It didn't rain, and there was no wind. The next day, Sunday, it rained all day. Thank you very much. That cleaned up everything. You might even say it put a button on the cleanup. In conclusion, I am typing this story now on Monday. My fingers and hands are a bit stiff from all that trimming and sweeping the day before. But no worries. I can now enjoy seeing the manicured garden every time I leave and return to my house. There will be no trimming until next spring.